Greetings. This is Justin Allen, the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system, and frankly, screw that. Sick of it, and it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take a measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked to the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help the nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode. Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking to Heather, who is both a psych and family nurse practitioner. Currently, she's working full-time at an outpatient psych practice. She opened up a part-time practice about 7 months ago where she is providing general psych care and TMS. She's needing assistance with hiring her first employee and the inner workings of having an employee. She's also interested in discussing how she can integrate weight loss and hormone replacement therapy into her practice. Hey, Heather, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for hopping on here. So tell us about yourself. How long you been a psych NP for, a family NP, and maybe just why you chose both routes and what kind of things you've been doing.
So I've been a nurse for 20 years. I've been an NP for 10, 11 years. I did family practice, but actually worked with an anesthesia group in pediatrics for the large majority of that, and then decided to go back and get psych because it's something I've always been interested in. And I've been doing that now for a little over 2 years. And then decided I wanted to open my own practice. I think for the same reasons we all do. We don't want to keep working our butts off for somebody else.
Sure.
And so, psych is what I love, and that's kind of what I've focused on. But I also kind of come from the mindset that we can't have mental health without physical health and physical health without mental health. They kind of play into each other.
100%.
So that's kind of been my focus, is kind of an integrative approach. So, and then I learned about the TMS and was really interested in that because I feel like it's a great alternative to shoving pills down people's throats that just create more side effects.
Yeah.
And so decided to go with that.
So talk to me about TMS a little bit. I don't know much about it.
So TMS, I always say, is kind of the friendly cousin of ECT.
Okay. So define both of those. They're just abbreviations for people who might not know.
Okay, so ECT is electric convulsive therapy, which has been around for a really long time, but you have to be put to sleep, and then they use electric current to change the neurotransmitters in your brain.
Okay.
And it has side effects. Obviously, anesthesia. It can lead to memory loss, seizures. So it's not benign.
Sure.
But is a good treatment. And so TMS is its, friendly cousin in that you don't have to have anesthesia.
And what does TMS mean?
TMS is transcranial magnetic stimulation.
I gotcha. Okay.
So it uses a magnet to do the same thing that ECT does. So side effects are pretty much limited to headache for the first few treatments. And then even that goes away. And so, you get this, don't quote me exactly, but it's around 83% success rate, and that symptoms are reduced.
In
And
treating what?
then depression, sorry.
I got you.
Well, in Europe, they use it for a lot of things, actually. But in this country, it's only FDA approved for depression, anxious depression. And then it recently got OCD.
Okay, interesting. And how effective is it in terms of like, after how many treatments do you start seeing, some actual benefit?
So actually, after about 2 to 3 weeks, you start to see benefit.
And is that one treatment a week or what?
No, that's kind of the downside, is that it's 5 days a week.
Gotcha. Okay. And how long does that last?
For about 5 to 6 weeks. And then as far as how long you have symptom relief, it's really kind of person dependent. Some people will go years and not need another treatment. Some people might only go 6 months and then kind of need what they call a touch-up treatment. And most people are able to come off their antidepressants altogether. Some people still remain on a lower dose. But that's still better to be on a lower dose, lower side effect risk, than having to be on these high dose antidepressants or sometimes even multiple medications.
Interesting. Okay. So it sounds like it's pretty safe. Like,
yes, it is. I mean, there's a real low risk of seizures. But like really low. I don't remember off the top of my head.
And is that permanent? Like, do you get like permanent seizures, or is it just something that's just transient?
No, just, with treatment.
I got you.
But yeah, it is. It's pretty safe. It's effective. Like I said, it's first line treatment in Europe. And they use it for lots of things over there. So, I mean, I think we're going to see it be used for more and more, and insurance does cover it. You do have to jump through all their hoops. Like you've had to have, been through psychotherapy and failed. Some of them it's 2 antidepressants, some of them it's 4. But, once you meet those requirements, insurance does cover it.
Gotcha. Okay. Interesting. All right. So, I just learned a lot more about TMS. That sounds like something I might want to try one day. My goodness.
Right?
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Like, I mean, why aren't we doing this more often? Like,
exactly. That's what I keep asking is, in my opinion, it should probably be first line treatment here, and then go to all of the drugs that, might work. But
that seems like a no-brainer. Like, why would you want to be on a bunch of drugs with a bunch of side effects when you can go in for 5 to 6 weeks of some TMS and come out of it and be
sadly
improved for a year or two? Like,
right. Well, sadly, a lot of people either can't or don't want to take the time to come in for a treatment every day. And I mean, a treatment's only 20 or 30 minutes. So it's not like you're spending all day there.
Right.
But that has been the biggest barrier so far, is people just not wanting to do that when you can just pop a pill and make it all better.
Right. But every day for years and years and years.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So you're doing pretty well doing this TMS kind of part-time in your practice.
Yeah. I mean, I just started doing it. So far, I've mostly just been doing med management. But I mean, so when I opened my doors in January, I had 0 patients, and I'm now up to about 40 patients that I manage.
Nice.
Obviously, all of those aren't necessarily monthly. Some of them are. But I mean, I'm doing okay. In fact, this month, July was the first month that the business paid for itself. I was no longer putting my own money into it.
Congrats.
So that was pretty exciting.
Yeah. So it's on autopilot now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's that's a great milestone to hit in your business. It really is. Like,
yes, it felt pretty good.
Yeah. Now everything makes profit.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. And so that's why I want to hire somebody to help me take this to the next level, so that, the goal is eventually for my private practice to be my full-time job. So, I need somebody to help me, kind of start doing that, because I can't keep working a full-time job and doing my private practice part-time and get all the administrative type stuff done.
So let's just talk about logistics here real quick first before we move into, how to hire an employee and what, you should be looking for in terms of that employee goes. What's your schedule like at your full-time job?
Right now I work 3 10s. I just cut back. I was doing 4 10s. I just cut back to the 3 a month ago, just because I was doing better in my private practice and could make up that income difference.
Gotcha. And what are you doing at this job? Is it just general psych outpatient stuff, med management,
Yes, it's
whatever?
Yeah, it's actually community health. And so I do med management for them.
Gotcha. Okay. And if you don't mind me asking, so how much are you making doing that?
Like what my salary there is?
Your full-time job. Yeah. How much do you make a year doing that?
So it was 120 before I cut back my hours. And I haven't done the math to tell you exactly what it is now that I've cut it back. I want to say it makes it like 90 something.
But that's not bad for part-time. I mean,
oh yeah. Oh no, not at all. And as long as I stay 30 hours, I still get my benefits.
Okay. So
yeah, that's.
Yeah. So, okay. So 30 hours a week, 90,000 benefits. I mean, not fantastic, but not horrible. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I can't complain about that. Like it's a good job. They, we're treated well. Like I have a lot of flexibility, all of that. I just, I come from a family of business owners, and that's always kind of been my goal. So.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's talk about numbers real quick in your practice. So, what are your monthly expenses like, average?
My monthly expenses for my practice. So my rent is $550. I spend, let's see, 600. I'm adding it all up in my head. I'd say it's about $1,000.
$1,000 a month to keep the place open.
Yes.
Nothing. Okay. And
it's not a lot of overhead.
No, not at all. And how much money are you making a month now?
I would say probably twice that. Probably maybe more than that. Like maybe 3 times that. Maybe close to 3,000 a month. As far as seeing patient hours, I put about 8 hours a week into it.
8 hours a week. Okay.
And then I spend probably 2 more hours a week, like just returning phone calls.
Right. Just busy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're putting in anywhere between, it sounds like probably 30 to 35 hours a month into this.
Yeah, probably.
Something like that. And you're making $3,000. So you're bringing in about $100 an hour. Let's just for simplistic math.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So, so this is, so you're going to be basically making, twice what you could make at your job.
Yes. Yeah.
Give or take. Yeah. So it's a no brainer to focus on this, right? You're never, I mean, your job will never pay you $100 an hour. It's not going to.
No, it will not.
Yeah. Very few nurse practitioner jobs in this country pay $100 an hour,
right. Even when you factor in benefits and all of that, I'm still not going to come anywhere near that.
Not even close. No benefits, or smoke and mirrors. They're a good thing, but they don't cost that much,
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. So a no brainer. And is this you billing insurance predominantly, or are you mostly cash based?
Right now it's cash based. That's the other thing I'm a little bit worried about is I'm working on the credentialing process with insurance. I actually just in the last couple of weeks got some of those contracts back. So in the next month or 2, I will start taking insurance. I live in an area that everyone uses their insurance. And so I know that my reimbursement is going to go down when I start taking insurance.
But the volume you should be making.
Right.
More money.
But volume will go up. Correct.
Right. So you should, in theory, be making more money.
Correct.
That's what you're expecting, right?
Yes. That's what I'm hoping for. Yes.
Are you, Are you turning away a lot of patients when they call? Like when they call, you say, no, we don't accept insurance. Are you like, losing
I
patients? Are you
wouldn't
not converting?
say, yeah, I wouldn't say a lot, but I mean, it's a decent amount. And the ones that I do have that have still gone ahead and come with me, I think it's because they knew that eventually I would be taking insurance. So it was kind of a short-term thing.
Oh, okay.
Whereas had it been well, I'm never going to take insurance, I don't know that as many people would have done it.
So do you think, how much lower are you going to be getting paid here when when you accept the insurance for a patient?
So right now, new patient appointments, which are an hour, is $250.
Okay.
But when I take insurance, I'm expecting that to probably be cut in half.
Wow, that much. Are you still going to spend an hour with the patient then?
I mean, at least initially I plan to.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll continue to do that if I
Right.
see that it's not working out.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to scale. I mean, you're going to be putting in twice the amount of time to make what you were making before, right?
Right.
Yeah. What about the TMS? How much money are you making a month on the TMS just right now?
Well, so I haven't started making anything on the TMS because
gotcha.
I have patients waiting for their insurance to cover it.
I got you.
Because out of pocket, it's very expensive. But I have a waiting list of patients that are, or as soon as insurance covers it, are going to start doing it, and it does reimburse well. I mean,
good. Yeah, it's a procedure.
One patient a month more than covers the expense of the TMS.
Gotcha. Okay. So it sounds like you should be making some pretty solid money as long as you are a lot more efficient with your time, maybe shorten some, appointments, do the easy med management follow-ups, make those just quick appointments,
Right. Which is probably what I would do. Like I would probably go ahead and leave my new patients as an hour, but instead of follow-ups being 30 minutes, unless they're a complex patient, I would probably just move to making those 15.
Right. And that's probably all you need to do most of the time anyways, if they're not complex, right?
Right.
Like, here's your med refill, here's your Adderall,
correct.
Or here's your Zoloft or whatever, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So what time frame? Okay, you said it's going to take a couple months before you can start accepting insurance fully, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Your job, you're going to continue working this for the foreseeable future still, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this employee that you're wanting to hire. So remember now you're, let's just say hypothetically, okay, you hire a, medical assistant, receptionist, whatever, you're paying them, you got to pay people anymore $18 an hour to keep people.
Right.
You just do minimum. Like anything less, you're not going to keep people. I talk with so many nurse practitioners who are still stuck in this mindset of paying people $12 an hour and $10.
You can't. You can't live on that.
No, and you're not going to get quality people for that.
No, as I say, you can go to McDonald's. At least where I live, you can go to McDonald's and make $17 an hour. So
exactly, you can go to Panda Express where I'm at and make almost 20. Like, who's going to work for you for $12 an hour? No one's going.
Right? No one.
No one is. Yeah. Like, and then if you hire a virtual assistant or something, a lot of NPs in their practice, they're just cheap. They don't want to pay more than like $10 an hour. It's like, you're going to get $10 an hour work then. Like,
correct.
Expect good customer. Don't expect good stuff,
Right.
Yeah. So you get what you pay for. So just keep that in mind.
Absolutely.
So if you're paying someone $18 an hour, in a, part-time capacity of maybe 20 to 30 hours a week or whatever, the money that you're making now, like your profit will now go to basically zero. Right. So you got to be thinking to yourself here, okay, this is me just investing back into my business so I can start seeing more patients, right? To increase the revenue and focus on the income generating work versus this busy work, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So having that person there to be doing that busy work for you, it should make you more of an efficient person, and therefore you should generate a lot more money.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a good investment. So anytime
There's
you hire,
also there's a person that I'm most likely going to hire. She was an office manager for a local doctor that has retired. And so not only does she know what she's doing, but there's also a lot of patients, I think, that will follow her.
how much is she wanting to get paid?
We haven't talked about that yet. We're meeting this weekend actually to talk about that. But I do know that the doctor was paying her $20 an hour.
Okay. So, you can match that,
Right. Yeah.
$20 an hour is not that much. It's really not. The majority of my medical assistants at my men's health clinic are making anywhere between $18 to $24 an hour. Medical assistants.
Right.
Right. There's still some places in this country in like the Southeast where they're paying new grad RNs $20, $22 an hour. It's like,
oh my God, that's crazy.
It's insane. Yeah. So anyways, I have, 5 medical assistants, they're all making almost $20 an hour. Like it's a lot of money,
Yeah.
We spend $12,000 to $15,000 a month just in medical assistant payroll. Okay.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. But it allows me not to have to work in my business whatsoever.
Right.
I don't even have to think about it. I show up, I see patients, I leave. I don't have to do anything else. It's great.
Right. Which is my goal.
That's your goal, right? Exactly. I think that business is working for you. All you gotta do is see patients and make money. Yeah.
Right.
So, okay. So if you're talking this office manager, if you hire someone in a full-time capacity right now, they're going to be twiddling their thumbs for a little bit. Like
I have talked to her and she knows that starting out, it will be part-time.
Okay. So she's willing to spend some time and get a little kind of invest in it with you. Okay.
Yes. Which I guess is kind of the other thing I wanted to kind of get your opinion on, Justin, is like, I want her to be invested in this.
All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all elite nurse practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free and that other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode.
Like if she brings patients with her, if she does well, like I want her to also be rewarded for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want her to have motivation for helping build this.
Sure, of course. And, and you should be like that. I mean, this person's going to be a key player for you,
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When you have an employee, like especially your first employee, and they're kind of motivated, then, you're going to train them to be somewhat of a manager, so to speak. And, that sort of thing. It's good if they have some sort of incentive, something that they give a shit about. Right.
Yes.
If
and
they
like,
don't,
that's what I don't know how to do that, what that looks like.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty simple. You basically tell them that, you have to give them an incentive, and that incentive is money, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's what it comes down to. No one cares about, lunch is nice, but at the end of the day, help that person, or some stupid gold star. Good job,
Right. Yeah.
Here's a watch.
Right. I don't need my name and an email. Like,
right. Exactly. Here's a $20 gift card to the grocery store. Like, woohoo.
Yes.
Yeah. So no. It needs to be something significant. It needs to be a percentage of revenue or something like.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask. Like, how do you set that up? Is it just kind of a flat dollar amount bonus? Is it a percent, of like how you figure that stuff out?
So does this person have experience billing?
Yes, she has experience billing. She does, like, for the doctor she worked for before, she sent in refills. She is also a educated naturopath, so she knows a lot about like
Well, it's integrative
natural
stuff.
medicines,
Yeah.
nutrition, all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
which is like I would like for her to use that for my patients.
Sure.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out how to.
So think about it this way then. So if she has experience billing and coding, she knows how to do it. Okay.
Yes.
She actually knows how to submit claims, and she knows how
Yes.
to, work the clearinghouse and to navigate an audit, et cetera. Right.
Right.
If she understands this, then think about it this way. If you hired an outside billing company, they're going to charge you 6% of collections.
Right. Right.
So instead of paying someone like that, this person, give her, could be like, all right, fine, $20 an hour. Let's do that.
Yeah.
And then a quarterly bonus of 10% of collections.
Okay.
That might seem like a lot of money, but if this person is truly a critical component of your business in terms of its growth, okay?
Right.
They understand the processes, the billing, they know all of this stuff, and you don't have to worry about it. And they're going to be bringing patients in, they're going to be motivated to get patients through the door, fill up their schedule, et cetera. Then this is going to be a critically important person. So they should be compensated fairly well for it. So, 10% might sound like a lot, but think about it this way. So you have an office manager who's doing your billing for you.
Yes.
Who's running the show, basically,
yes.
right?
Yep.
You're paying them $20 an hour. Let's just do this full time, just as an example, because full time math's a lot easier. So at $20 an hour for 40 hours a week, it's going to be about $40,000 a year. Okay. And then let's just say, a psych practice that is, moderately busy the first year, you should probably bill $300,000 at least.
Okay.
So let's just say that you collect $300,000. So she gets $30,000. So it's not that much when you think about it that way.
Right.
Okay? And so now her salary went from $40,000 to $70,000. That's reasonable for an office manager.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but if she helps you get up to $1 million, now she's managing $1 million practice. And now she's making $120,000 a year, something like that.
Right. Okay.
That's reasonable for managing a 7-figure business, Okay.
Right.
So you think about it that way. It's reasonable to you as a business owner, but it's one hell of an incentive for her.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right? And so, that's probably how I would structure it if you really want this person.
So is it better to have her as a W-2 employee?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't justify this person being a contractor.
Okay.
Yeah. You could do it. You can get away with it for a little while until you don't. Until the IRS does an audit. Hey, wait a second here. Who's this person you're paying as a 1099? Okay. Yeah. This person isn't a contractor. Get the hell out of here. We know what you're doing. It's a manager. Right. She should be a W-2. And now you're responsible for paying every dollar of employment tax.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So W-2.
So it's W-2 for sure. Yeah. The incentive thing, I would just tell her quarterly. Let's do it quarterly. You're going to be able to see the finances. I will share, the profit and loss statements with you and everything like that. I want to be fair.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, basically that's pretty much what you would do. And just, let her know, like, it's going to be a little bit slow for the first 3 to 6 months. And then once it starts picking up, you're going to start making more money. I'm going to start making more money. We're both going into this. We're both taking a little bit of a risk, but the payoff can be big.
Right. Okay.
Especially if you hire another nurse practitioner down the road.
Right. Which again is part of the plan, but.
Right. That's the grand plan, right? Is hopefully have this business working for you. So you're not really doing a whole lot.
Right. Correct. And that's the other thing about the TMS is that, I know you talk about passive income a lot. I don't have to be there to do it.
Nice.
I can hire someone to do the treatments. I have to prescribe it and I have to do it's called a mapping, which is the original procedure to know where to place it. But after that, I don't have to be there. So again,
Who could do
hopefully,
that?
who could do that?
Yeah. Just a medical assistant or something?
Yeah, anyone that is trained. They do not have to have any sort of degree.
I'd be all over that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scale and grow that as much as you can. That's where it's at.
I know that I am hoping, and where I'm located, there's no one. So I'm in southern Indiana, right across from Kentucky. We're separated by the river. There's no one on my side of the river locally doing it. If anyone wants it, they have to go to Louisville.
And do you find that people are searching for this?
I haven't found that people have searched for it. However, when people come to see me, they almost always ask me about it.
Gotcha. So I got you. So they know about it.
Yes. And like I have talked to a couple of different therapists locally as well that have talked to their patients about it and think that it's a good idea.
Sure. So, yeah. And I can promise you there's probably some people who are actually looking for this, guarantee it. There's gonna be people out there that are actually actively searching for this, trying to find a clinic that provides this. Therefore, you need to make sure that this new entity, you need to make sure TMS is like in the name.
Okay.
I would have that on my Google business listing.
Okay.
So-and-so mental health clinic and TMS center or something like that.
Okay.
Okay. That way it is absolutely obvious that's what you do. And then when people type in TMS in Google in your area, you will come up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that something as simple as just like, because I already have my business name, but like I can just change it and add that?
Yeah. You literally just go into Google and just add it. And TMS center at the end of it or whatever. It's literally all you got to do.
Okay.
And then your website, just get in there and just change the heading and the title and TMS center. Like you don't have to change the LLC name or anything. This is more or less just a heading DBA sort of a thing, doing business as. Yeah. I wouldn't. Gotcha. Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it. Don't worry about, filing, another LLC and all that kind of stuff. You don't need to do that. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I say if you do that and you train someone on how to do this for you, and that's what you want. That's what you want right there. That's passive because that's now you not having to exchange your time for dollars, right? That's not you having to exchange your time to see a patient to make $1. Instead, you're just making dollars.
Yes, that's the idea.
That's the idea. Yeah. So I think it's a great idea. I think it's fantastic. I think you should be all over that. So, so this employee, it's really as simple as just talk with their hires a W-2, talk to your accountant, bookkeeper, you can just put them on, payroll through your bookkeeper or whatever. So that way you don't have to worry about tax filings and blah, 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 blah. They do all of that for you. Or you can use something like QuickBooks or Gusto. They have payroll systems in it that you can use that are pretty straightforward and easy. They usually will file the taxes for you and they'll do everything for you as well. So, you as the business owner, you should have time to do that right now.
Right.
Once you start getting multiple employees, though, that's when you just, have your bookkeeper do it. It's so much easier. You don't have to fool with it anymore. So, I have, with my nurse practitioners and, myself and everyone, there's like 8 people on payroll. Like, I don't want to fool with that. I have my bookkeeper do it. She charged me it's like $150 a month. Big deal.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So, but you can do it yourself right now if you want to save a few bucks. Okay. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. There's really not a whole lot else you need to worry about. You don't got to worry about benefits. All right, you're just one employee.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Workman's comp insurance. You're probably going to get some workman's comp insurance policy. Most states require it, even if you only have one employee. You can just go to Google and type in workman's comp insurance, Indiana or Illinois, wherever you're at, and it'll just show up on Google. Just call it up. It's $500 for the year or whatever. Okay. HIPAA, training, compliance, OSHA, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't worry about any of that.
Okay.
She's worked in a practice. She knows, she understands HIPAA and stuff. I wouldn't waste.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people get hung up on this whole HIPAA thing with employees, and even a minor HIPAA violation, the slap on the hand, don't do it again. Like,
Okay.
don't worry too much about it. I mean, it had to be
Okay.
a significant data breach. Okay. So
Okay.
don't lose sleep, especially if they're already medically trained. They've already had that training before. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I would just hire them, get them in the door. Let's just start getting some patients in the door. Let's just start seeing some patients. Let's start making some money.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple.
Awesome.
Really no reason to complicate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that 10% collections that she would get quarterly, like that would just be like a bonus check, right?
It would just be a bonus, correct? So you want to have her sign an employment contract. Okay.
Okay.
You can go to Google, type out, employee contract examples. You can create an account on Chat GPT if you want, and just have artificial intelligence write one for you if you want.
Okay.
You just say, hey, act like you're an employment lawyer. Okay, now the artificial intelligence is going to be employment lawyer. Now I want you to write an employment contract for this person with this bonus structure, blah, 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 and then they'll write it out. It'll take like 5 minutes.
Okay, that sounds easy enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't hire a lawyer for that. Lawyer's going to be out of business in the next 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So just go to ChatGPT and just have AI do it for you. Okay.
Okay.
Have her sign it and be done with it. And then the 10%, just, every quarter, every 3 months, say first week of the new quarter is when it would be, issued to you or whatever, the first payroll after the new, right. You calculate it out, but make sure it's collections, not billing.
Billed. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
She needs, if she's doing a lot of the billing for you, that's going to be her incentive to make sure she's collecting.
Okay. Yeah.
If there's audits, if there's chargebacks from the insurance or whatever, that just gets deducted from the next quarter's collections.
Okay.
Okay. If for some reason you bill insurance for something and they say, hey, wait a second, we're not going to pay for all this TMS treatment you just did. We want our $3,000 back. I would deduct that $3,000 from the collections for the next quarter.
Okay.
So be thinking about that. You don't want to be giving her free money.
Right. Correct. Okay.
Right. That's pretty much it.
Okay. That sounds fairly easy.
Pretty simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really nothing to it. So you have any other questions in terms of hiring the employee or what you might be doing?
No, I don't think so. That seemes pretty straightforward.
Okay. I know you wanted to talk, briefly about maybe providing some weight loss therapy or hormone replacement therapy. I mean, you are a family. You can do that as an FNP. You can even do it as a psych NP as long as it's, written for a mental health issue, right?
Right.
If their obesity is causing their depression, well, why don't we treat the underlying factor, their obesity?
Right. Right.
Same thing with, if they have low testosterone and that's causing their depression, let's treat that. So it can fall within your scope of, psych as long as it's being prescribed for that reason, but your family, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. I was going to say I'm covered. Kind of my question about it was, is it profitable, I guess is the word, to do that if I'm accepting insurance?
I mean, it can be, if you set it up appropriately. And by that, I mean, you're seeing the patient on a monthly basis, you're building established visit for it and, that kind of thing. If it's a medical necessity, if it's not medically necessary, okay.
Right.
Their total testosterone levels, 350, for example, they don't qualify based off of the guidelines, even though they're 30 years old, and they shouldn't have a testosterone level of 350. But according to the insurance, though, that's outside the guideline. That's outside their policy. So they're not going to pay for it. So in that case, it would just be cash pay. So it really depends on, is it a medical necessity or not? A lot of weight loss, according to insurance companies, isn't really a medical necessity. So,
right.
Yeah.
So it would kind of be like I would bill insurance for the office visit, but then treatments would be cash pay.
You could do that. Yes, correct. So you could bill for the visit, right?
Right.
Bill for obesity or depression or hypogonadism, whatever. Then you can just charge cash for the med. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That seems easy enough too.
Yeah. So you could definitely do that. Question is, would you want to do this under the psych umbrella or, just have it as, part of your integrated psych practice? Like, what are you thinking? Like how?
Well, So originally, yes, that was kind of what I was thinking. But then the more I get into this and like the more I've done the weight loss course and stuff, the more I'm kind of wondering, is it better to create a separate LLC and just be a different business?
Yeah, I mean, you can do it that way for sure. I mean, especially if if there's not a whole lot of competition in your area for weight loss or hormone replacement therapy, then I would go that route.
Okay. I mean, does that get a little hairy with having two businesses, one accepting insurance and the other not?
As long as it's under another entity,
Okay.
because your entity's credentialed, the new one's not.
Correct. Right.
Right. So you function under that entity for your cash pay stuff for weight loss and hormone replacement therapy. Different bank account, different everything.
Right. Just keep everything separate.
Right. Exactly. It's a completely separate business in the eyes of the law. Right.
Right. Even like they would even have to have like separate location or separate entrances at least.
Yeah, separate entrances supposedly. It can be in the exact same building, exact same office, but it has to have a different entrance. It's so stupid. So like, if you had a double door, this door right here is for your hormone replacement therapy. The left door is for hormone replacement therapy. The right door is for psych.
Okay. Okay. Well, because I was going to say too, could it even be a situation where like, if I have multiple offices, one of those offices is rented out to the other entity? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do it that way. You have a contract and a lease and all that kind of stuff. And, if anyone snooped around, and they're not going to, but if they did, you just show this lease and stuff.
Right.
And then if you did it under an LLC that was anonymous in nature, and no one even knows who owns the LLC.
Right. Okay.
Right. So, if I don't know if you said you're in Illinois.
Indiana.
Sorry. Okay. So Indiana, I have no idea if LLCs there are private. They're probably not. Most states are.
No, they're not.
Right. Mm-mm. So this is where you form the Wyoming LLC, right?
Okay.
Which is anonymous. It's one of the few states where the owner's name is anonymous. You can't look it up.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Okay.
So you have a Wyoming LLC own the Indiana LLC. And so when the Indiana LLC is looked up, there's no name. It's just your Wyoming LLC as the member manager. So it's just
gotcha. Okay.
It's a dead end.
Okay.
No one's going to look into anything any further than that anyway. Like, don't even worry. I wouldn't even worry about it. It's like, don't even worry about it.
Okay.
Like,
right.
But if you did it that way, it's just another layer of protection, right? And, yeah. So you could do that, or you could just have two different entrances. I know some people who've had a contractor come in $3,000 or $4,000, put a new door in. There you go. There's a separate entrance. Well, okay, there you go. Does that make you happy now? Like, it's so stupid.
Right.
Like,
so it could even be like a back door, front door situation. Like
absolutely front door, back door, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Like no one cares about. You're not hurting patients. You're not stealing money. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things that you don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So just have another LLC and do it that way. You should be fine.
Okay. Cool.
So any other questions about that?
No, I don't think so. I think that's it.
Cool. Any other questions at all?
No, I don't think so.
Cool.
This was super helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think this was a great episode. Got lots of fun little things talked about here. So hey, listen, this TMS, this is super cool. Yeah. I dig it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. I'm really hoping it takes off.
I think it will.
Like I said, it's just getting patients to realize that a short-term inconvenience is worth the long-term benefit.
And this is where you should have some information on your website about that. You're writing an article. You're right. You record a video of yourself talking about it, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
That'll help people find you. It just makes you look like you're the expert at it. And it's beneficial to the patient they're listening to. They're like, oh, wow, I want to try that. I'm sick of being on these damn meds,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Like an erectile dysfunction. This sucks.
Right. Right. Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm like, okay, but you're taking medications for the side effects of your medication.
Right.
Let's just simplify this and not take any of them.
Right. Yeah. Like I know so many men on an antidepressant have erectile dysfunction, have to take Viagra for it. It's just like,
right.
They would much rather do TMS for 6 weeks and not have to take either one, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah. So cool deal. So listen, I would love to do a follow-up on this. This is super interesting to me. So if you ever want to talk again,
Okay.
shoot me an email. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've listened to the podcast before, but I'd like to end the episode with you asking me any questions you ever might have had for me, if you've ever had a curiosity about my personal life or my business or anything like that.
I mean, I can't think of anything except maybe like what did you do before you before you started doing the Elite NP?
Well, I was a nurse practitioner working urgent care mostly.
Okay.
Did urgent care and I did emergency department pretty much. That's where I cut my teeth being a nurse practitioner for years.
Okay.
I worked urgent care ER for, if you count my RN years as well, for almost 10 years, something like that. So So I was,
and then what was your first business that you opened?
It was a Suboxone practice.
Really?
Yeah. I ended up closing it down. It really wasn't all that much of a success. So then I opened a medical cannabis clinic after that. That was a success. And then it all snowballed from there. Yeah.
Okay. I did download that course. I haven't listened to it yet.
Medical cannabis. It's a great way to make some side money. It's not something that, you could scale into a full-time business and, become a millionaire at.
Right.
Just look at it as, for what it is. It's just some side money. It's nothing that you're going to, make a significant amount of money on. And there's so much gray area for the future with it. If it becomes federally legal, then, what the hell's the point? So,
right.
Yeah. So just look at it that way. It's nice side money. It's nice play money, basically.
Right. Well, I do think, and I don't know if someday you'll maybe ever do a course on this, but I do think mental health is headed towards psychedelic treatment.
100%.
Which is something I'm very interested in and hoping someday to be able to integrate that into the practice. But that's another super interesting treatment. Yeah.
Well, MDMA, right? It's like,
right.
It's almost there for FDA approval. Like it's crazy.
Yes.
Yes. DMT and psilocybin, I know, like in Oregon and Colorado, like, they just pass laws that it can be used, with therapy and everything. Like, it's just great stuff. And the studies are just mind blowing about, like,
they really are.
It's mind blowing. Like it's a cure rate. The cure rate for PTSD is like 80%.
It cures it. It does. It's not just at this ongoing, symptom management. It cures it.
It cures it, right? You think the pharmaceutical companies like that?
Do what?
I was going to say, you think the pharmaceutical companies are excited about that?
Oh, no, they're not. No. Which is why I think it's going to be interesting to see how much they try to block it.
They're going to. They're going to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It'll just be interesting to see how successful they are at that.
And then, then people will just go down to Mexico and just go down there and get it. So that's what they're doing now.
Yeah. Or go to Colorado.
Just go to Colorado, right? Just fly to Colorado, get it done, Yeah. So
unfortunately, I live in the good old Midwest.
Yeah, Midwest, Southeast and stuff. Those states will never leave.
Yeah, we're a little behind the times. And
yeah. Well, cool. Listen, I appreciate this great conversation and I wish you the best of luck.
All right. Thanks so much, Justin. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You take care.
All righty. Bye.
All right, I hope everyone enjoyed the episode with Heather. Lots of great stuff there. Super interesting. I've never really talked to anyone who does TMS before. I think there's some real potential there. That's very, very interesting. And if you're a psych MP listening to this, you might want to take a look into that. Like, it sounds like it could be a great passive income stream. So definitely something to to consider and think about if you are interested in in developing a passive income stream as a psych MP. But I think the big thing here is hiring an employee. It doesn't really need to be complicated. Okay, treat your employees well. I think that's the most critical aspect here. Don't be cheap. If you're going to hire someone for $12, $15 an hour, you're going to get $12 to $15 an hour work. You think that person really cares about your business? I can tell you right now, they don't care. They can care less. It's a job. They come in, they do their job, they leave, they never think about it, okay? You want to hire someone who has some skin in the game potential. You want to hire someone who cares. And the way you get someone to care is by paying them what they're worth, is by compensating them fairly. So keep that in mind if you're hiring employees. Don't be cheap about it, okay? Pay the people what they're worth. All right, hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Thanks, bye. Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and/or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcasts. The content in this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2023 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.